Joining me is Susan McDonald, the Coalition's Shadow Resources Minister. Susan McDonald, thanks for your time. Where are you up to with nuclear? Like, you've been edging to this decision to, say we've got to end this ban on nuclear power. Are you there yet?
Well, we have been saying that everything needs to be on the table, and Blackout Bowen's reckless rush to this energy transition is madness, and it will damage Australia's prosperity so profoundly, and we're just seeing the beginning of it. If it's small businesses and families with spiralling energy costs, or the missed jobs that we'll have into the future. So Ted O'Brien, the Shadow Minister, has been incredibly clear that the studies that he's done around the world demonstrates the number of nations that are pursuing this next generation nuclear energy. In Australia, we've had a nuclear reactor for 50 years at Lucas Heights, making nuclear medicine. Yeah. Most Australians wouldn't even be aware that we have been safely operating a nuclear reactor in this country for that long. And just while I can talk about it, have still failed. This government has just walked away from a low radioactive waste facility at Kimba. Australia's only been working on it for 50 years. It took 7 years to land this site, and this government's just walked away from that as well. Got it.
I've had a go with that. It's just ridiculous. But, with the Voice being sold, they can't say no to the Aboriginal group there that said we don't want it there, so just caved in. But listen, so you haven't actually made the decision to say that ban must be dropped, have you? When will you do that?
Well, I think that it's important that Australians are part of this, that this has been in place since 1998, since the Greens passed the amendment.
You're waiting for an election. All right. You're waiting for an election. You're going to have
I think it's an important decision that Australians will have a clear view on. But they absolutely want to be able to have affordable and reliable electricity. We know that we're coming forward for blackouts. We know that energy prices are spiralling. And nuclear is, in our opinion, a really good option, and we're keen to bring it forward to Australians to have a say on it.
No, I totally agree with you. Totally agree with you. I mean, it might be too expensive. I know that, but I don't understand why you'd ban it and let the market decide whether it's too expensive or not. Now, the ban on nuclear was actually the decision of the Howard government back in the day. It sure made a mistake, didn't it? Just following the zeitgeist instead of standing up for reason.
Well, it was the rebuilding of the Lucas Heights facility that legislation was introduced, and the Greens moved an amendment to ban further activity, which I agree. It was a missed opportunity for Australia, and we know from other countries around the world who are pursuing this. I mean, you mentioned cost. I think that we've seen the the Gen Cost report, which came out initially through the CSIRO saying it was expensive, and then the next iteration, the costs had completely changed. ANSTO hadn't been consulted in the previous report. The nuclear facility, the Australian Nuclear Science and Technology Organisation, which is demonstrating that there is that they understand the costs. I think that this was a real oversight and a missed opportunity from CSIRO to have a sensible conversation. It certainly doesn't involve new transmission lines. It doesn't require duplicating technology and infrastructure that's in place already.
Exactly
we're looking at spending.
Well, look, I've always said the CSIRO captured, Susan. They have been captured by the global warming movement, and they didn't factor in exactly what you just mentioned to come up with that, it's too expensive claim. Susan McDonald, thank you so much for your time. I hope to have you back when that final decision's made. Thank you.